Right, it is another event day, and my friends told me that I should really do more videos like the last one I did when I have events because, well, frankly, they're kind of cool. So, well, another day in the life as a Shakuhachi player starting now. Okay, so here we are in the car, getting ready to go. Basically, we're going to Yakushiji Temple, which is a very famous temple that was founded and built by Emperor Tenmu. And that's how we pay for the roads. And it has about a 1300-year history. And well, let's get over there and do our tea ceremony. Okay, I am parked, situated. Now it's time to walk over to the temple. Once we get to the temple, like before, I'm gonna give you some B-roll and we're good to go. Ah yes, voiceover time. Yakushiji Temple is located in Nara, Japan, and it is a significant Buddhist temple with a rich history that dates back to the 7th century, originally established in 1680 by Emperor Tenmu to pray for the recovery of his ailing Empress Jito. The temple has undergone several reconstructions due to fires and natural disasters over the centuries. The temple is dedicated to Yakushi Nyorai, the Buddha of healing, and is renowned for its association with the Yakushi Triad, a set of 3 statues depicting Yakushi Nyorai in the center, flanked on the sides by 2 attendants. These statues, along with other treasures, are housed in the East Golden Hall, an essential structure on the temple grounds. The East Golden Hall, or Toindo, is a prime example of classical Japanese architecture and is recognized for its intricate details and elegant design. Although the current structure is a reconstruction from 1970, it faithfully showcases the original architectural style, providing visitors with a glimpse into the history and the aesthetics of Japanese Buddhist temples. In addition to the East Golden Hall, Yakushiji Temple features other noteworthy structures, including the Kondo, the main hall, and the Toto, East Pagoda. The Kondo enshrines a statue of Yakushi Nyorai and is an essential part of the temple complex. The Toto, although originally a 3-story pagoda, now stands as a single-story structure. Nevertheless, it adds to the overall charm of Yakushiji Temple and reflects the architectural styles prevalent during the Nara period. The temple is surrounded by a serene garden, enhancing the spiritual atmosphere and providing a peaceful environment for visitors to explore. The grounds of Yakushiji Temple are often adorned with cherry blossoms during the spring season, creating a picturesque scene that attracts both locals and tourists alike. Yakushiji Temple holds a cultural significance, a huge historical significance, showcasing the enduring beauty of Japanese Buddhism. Its tranquil setting, combined with the architectural splendor of its structures, makes it a must-visit destination for those interested and those who love Japanese rich, religious, and cultural heritage. And I have to say, for myself, this was a wonderful event. Now for the event, which I think you can guess, which is on the screen, is all about tea. The Japanese tea ceremony is known as cha no yu, or chado. It is a highly ritualized and meditative practice centered around the preparation, the serving, and the consumption of matcha, a powdered green tea. It finds its roots in Zen Buddhism. The tea ceremony is not merely just a way of preparing and drinking a cup of tea. It's a cultural activity with deep philosophical and aesthetic underpinnings. Historically, the roots of Japanese tea can be traced back to the 9th century, but it flourished greatly in the 15th and 16th century, particularly under the influence of tea master Sen no Rikyu. Rikyu played a major role in shaping the principles and aesthetics of the tea ceremony. The tea ceremony is strongly influenced by Zen Buddhism, and it emphasizes principles such as harmony, respect, purity, and tranquility. and practitioners aim to achieve the mindfulness and sense of peace and presence throughout the ritual. Right now you can see on the screen that usucha is being made. And usucha is primarily made in the type of tea gathering called chakai, which is a less formal tea gathering, which focuses serving on these thin tea, and along with simple sweets, which you saw just previously. Another type of tea gathering is called chaji. It's a formal, full-length tea gathering that typically includes a meal known as kaiseki, and a thick tea, koicha, as well as the thin tea, usucha. Now, the tea room and utensils is another key important part of the ceremony. It is often conducted in a purpose-built tea room or a tea house, and the design is all about simplicity, and the materials that are used can be natural and rustic or very beautiful and well, as you can see on the screen, very designed. Some of the key utensils that are used are the tea bowl, known as chawan, which I always find hilarious because chawan sounds like it's a food bowl, but it's actually the tea bowl, a tea whisk, chasen, and the tea scoop, chashaku, and tea caddy, or the natsume, or usuki. For the preparations of matcha, it is a very precise and carefully choreographed process. As you can see, there were very intricate movements that the tea master was doing in order to prepare the tea. It involves scooping the tea powder, whisking it with hot water, and serving the resulting frothy tea to the guest. And the next part of it is rituals and etiquette. The main word to take away from this is omotenashi. And this is all about hospitality. Beyond all of the meanings of tea, the main thing to take away from this is that the tea ceremony embodies cultural and social values. It is a way to foster connections, contemplate beauty, and appreciate the fleeting nature of life that is known as mono no oware. Now you can see on the screen a hanging scroll. Tea masters don't just study tea, but they study a lot of times calligraphy, poetry, ikebana, and many other aesthetic qualities. Now on the screen you can see part of our kaiseki, which is the food that was presented. And normally what will happen is that the food that is prepared is always prepared based on the season. So because this is in fall, you get a lot of the fall leaves, like the momiji, the Japanese maple, and some of the other seasonal fish. Now we are in the next room. Now that hanging scroll there is actually written by Senno Rikyu himself. Now interestingly enough, the only part of it that is his is the signature. Everything else on it is actually his assistant writing. And it simply says, "I'm doing a tea ceremony with Tokugawa. I hope that you can join." Now we can see another tea master who is making koicha, the thick tea. Now I have had koicha many times, and this was one of the best I've ever had. And now, why would we have these thick tea last? Well, the thought is that everything that you did before, the usucha, as well as all the food, prepares you to have the koicha. And this was the bowl that I was given. And this is the same, it is said that this is the style of bowl that Senno Rikyu designed himself. Now this is the end of the event where we had already drinking the tea, and you can see all of the beautiful utensils. And now we're going to get a close-up of the writing here of the letter. And it wasn't signed because, well, Senno Rikyu didn't think that this was going to become a hanging scroll. Now, more about the Yakushiji. Yakushiji Temple was the first in Japan to be built with 2 pagodas. This unique arrangement of temple buildings is called Yakushiji-style temple complex layout. It's a pretty long name. Many buildings and Buddhist statues designated as national treasures or important cultural assets are enshrined at the temple complex, known as the garan in Japanese. And this was towards the right before we were leaving, and I wanted to show you this right here. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful indeed. Wonderful 3-story pagoda. And I also learned a new term in Japanese, which is, if you look at the clouds at the top right there, that is called fish scale clouds. And I'm going to put a picture in here as well that you probably see on the screen right now. Thank you so much for watching the video, and if you ever have a chance to do tea in Japan, I highly recommend it. Please come to Yakushiji Temple and enjoy the beautiful and rich culture of Japan.